What's up, real MVPs? Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into the video where we each and every day talk about the dampest of dudes, the soggiest of shooters, the moistest of men, and even sometimes the mistiest of misses. These are our Wet Boys. If you're new to Wet Boys, these are where we take the players of the games from the day prior, and we give our nods to them. We have usually 5 Wet Boys per day. Dave, Soapy, Jake, myself, and the patrons at patreon.com/MVPvids get to vote on a Wet Boy Silver tier and above. So go check out our Patreon page if you want to get in on the voting. However, you can also vote on our community tab. We like to see what the non-patrons like as well. So you can get in on the action either way. You may notice for this one, I've got headphones on. You're probably sitting there going, Ricky, for these, you usually don't have headphones on because who do you have to listen to? But for today, I'm bringing in a special guest from the nether realm, or the nowheres. It's kind of all around me. His voice is all around me. I've got Soapy Muffin here today. Soaps, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You know what? I'm ready to talk about some Wet Boys. Like, this is the prime video of the day. You have given a Wet Boy. How we're going to do it is we're just going to alternate through the Wet Boys, how we usually do. And getting right into it, Soapy, Dave, NBA, he's going NBA as he usually does, Aaron Gordon. And I will say, I did look at Aaron Gordon's stats, and I saw 14, 6, and 6, 6 from the field, or 6 shots from the field that he made. And I was like, at first I'm like, am I missing something here? I even asked you, Soaps, I'm like, am I missing something? Did Aaron Gordon do something that I just didn't see defensively? I'm assuming Dave is giving Aaron Gordon the Wet Boy because of his 2 blocks and his 3 steals to help the Denver Nuggets in their victory. I want to say they won. I should probably look that up, Soaps, real quick, so I'm not giving false information. Yesterday, they did win 101-94 over the Clippers. Dave going with AG, the newest member of the Denver Nuggets. Soaps, I'm going to kick it off to you. Who's Jake's Wet Boy? Who is Jake going with today?
You know, Jake's got a little bit of a homer pick, but you know, I can respect it. He's got Shake Milton of the 76ers. You know, Shake Milton had a little bit of a game yesterday. In case you didn't know, Ricky,
I
27 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, 1 steal. Shot 71% from the field, 71% from 3. You know. And he led the bench unit to, you know, get a big fat dub over a bad team.
And Soapy, there's only one thing we can do after a Sixers win. You know what that is, right?
Ring the bell.
Clap your hands, everybody.
Everybody.
Philadelphia, 76ers. And also, as you said, ring the bell. Ring the bell, Jake. Ring the bell. Ring the bell, Shake. That's all you got to do. I'm going a little bit different, Soapy. You guys all went, I'll be honest, the rest of you went NBA. Dave, Jake, Soapy, all went NBA. I could not. Yesterday was opening day. I was picking a baseball player. I was hell-bent on it. Somebody from opening day was getting my Wet Boy, and it pains me to give this guy a Wet Boy because I hate this team with a passion. Soapy, do you want to know how much I hate this team?
I'm going to assume a lot.
A lot.
Is this a possible team I heard you yelling about?
No, I haven't yelled about this team yet. I probably will when the Cubs play them, but the story that I don't think I've told on a video that I will tell briefly now is that when I was coming into college, I was at orientation with a friend. Her name was Colleen, and we were both at orientation. We went to high school together. We're like, cool, we're on the same orientation. She had met a girl at orientation. She's like, cool, this girl would be great for you. She loves sports, blah, blah, blah. And while I was talking to her, I found out she was a fan of this team and had a tattoo right on her shoulder, like right above the chest and the shoulder area. And she did the whole thing where she like popped it and like, oh, here's my tattoo. I saw the tattoo of the team and I immediately went, this conversation is over, and I walked away. That is how much I hate this team. And my Wet Boy goes to Paul Goldschmidt of the St. Louis Cardinals. I kind of almost gave it away when I said when they'll play the Cubs, because obviously I'm a huge Cub fan. That's why I can't stand the Cardinals. St. Louis fans will understand because of our rivalry. But I gotta give the nod to Goldschmidt. He had a fucking great game. 4 or 5 from the from the old plate. He had 3 runs of his own, batted in one, had an average, although as Jake would say, average is a useless stat. He did go 80% in his attempts. That's where the 4 for 5 goes from. And yeah, he had himself a game. Wanted to give it to Lucas Giolito, but it was almost like, oh my God, I'm picking between 2 teams that I really don't want to give Wet Boys to, the Cardinals and the White Sox. Soaps, that brings us into yours. You get to talk about your own pick. Who are you giving a Wet Boy to today?
My Wet Boy is going to potentially, unless the charts are lying to us, there's like a sneaky...
It. No potential, it is. It's official. This is it.
First time ever Wet Boy receiver, Ricky. DeMar DeRozan. Sadly, DeMar took a fat L in this game. It's painful, but I mean, hey, he still had himself a game. You can't blame him for the reason the Spurs lost this game.
Arguably, he brought it to double overtime, correct?
True. I mean, he forced one of the overtimes.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, dude, DeMar deserves it. I will be the first person to give DeMar the respect he deserves.
DeMar did exactly what I wanted.
DeMar finished the game out. DeMar finished out the game with 36 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, a little bit of a playmaker. My dog's barking. She's also happy about DeMar. And 52% from the field. He missed the only 3 he took, but that's fine. That don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, who shoots threes anyways? DeMar's game is all mid-range, right? It's completely all mid-range. I love how he gets a Wet Boy because yet again, like I said, I think he's gotten a Wet Boy before, but that was probably the pre-chart era. Fuck it. This is his first Wet Boy. Soapy can say, I gave DeMar DeRozan his first ever Wet Boy. Nobody can take that away from me because it's not on our charts. The last thing we like to do is we have our patron vote. And if you were confused at the beginning, I'll explain it. Our patrons, silver, gold, and platinum tier, get to vote each and every day on the official Wet Boy who gets a nomination for the year for Wet Boy. If you would like to join in on that, just check out patreon.com/MVPvids. You can get on the vote as well. However, there is a YouTube vote on our community tab. We will show that as well, kind of see where the patrons and everyone else are kind of sitting when it comes to Wet Boys. And the patron Wet Boy, Soapy, had a little controversy today because you and I, the ones who are doing the video today, had to kind of step in and give the ifdo facto, hey, this is who the Wet Boy is, because we had 4 Wet Boys receive votes today. We had Dwight Howard, we had Matthew Barzal of the Islanders in the NHL, Steph Curry and Wendell Carter Jr. all receive 1 vote each. And you and I, after deliberation, we talked about it, we weighed the options. We had to go with Matthew Barzal of the NHL, and I was a big proponent of Barzal getting the Wet Boy because I would have given it to him if I didn't go baseball. I mean, 3 goals, 2 assists. You're getting 5 points in the game. That's amazing for a hockey player. Plus, on top of that, to go +5, meaning now let's be honest, his 5 goals probably played into his +5, but you were not a negative on the defensive end as well. In 17, almost 18 minutes on the ice, got to give him the nod. It's just fucking phenomenal, Soapy. I don't know if you have anything to add to our frozen fellow of the day.
No, not really. It was just, this is just how the cookie crumbles. He was the one who received the votes.
Yep.
Just in the voting process, I wasn't really blown away by the other performances. Obviously, one of them, I already have just this innate weird hatred for Wendell Carter.
You're like, Soapy literally said, whatever Wendell did, off the table. Wendell does not matter. He's a bum. And I was like, I kind of agree. He's no longer a Bull. He's a bum.
Yeah. I mean, and this is also coming from a person who's not even a Bulls fan.
Yeah.
Saying he's a bum. So welcome Bulls fans to the realistic side.
Mm-hmm. Now, Soapy, the YouTube vote we put on our community page, this was well before anyone voted for Wet Boys. Here's how the poll went out today. So, yet again, if you cannot support us monetarily, you don't want to get in on the actual patron vote, we put this poll out each and every day on our community tab. You can still vote, have your voice heard. For the games from yesterday, Soapy, we had 5 choices. No one had any write-ins. Steph Curry, Clint Capella from the NBA, Barzal, who did win the patron vote. Jorge Soler and Tyler Glasgow are class now from the MLB. Curry ran away with it, Soapy. He had 73% of the vote. Clint Capella had 16%. You had Glasgow with 5%. And then Barzal, who won the patron vote, and Jorge Soler, 3%. Steph Curry was one of the people that was tied for the patron vote. In your mind, Soapy, because I could have given it, I could have seen Curry getting it, because obviously I like Steph Curry, so I'm not going to argue Steph Curry ever getting a wet boy. Why do you think that Steph Curry did not deserve a wet boy over the other patron nods?
I just viewed it as, you're reading out the stats. Obviously, he had a double-double in the game, and it was, and that sounds good. But once again, that doesn't live up to my expectations. Yeah, the only thing is, that doesn't live up to my expectations to Steph Curry.
Okay. You want more out of him.
Yeah. I almost feel like it's one of those things where obviously I'm going to sound like the biggest hypocrite because I'm the one who's given James Harden the last 800 wet boys.
I mean, 35, and I think it was 36 or 35 and 11, 5 threes from Steph. We just sit there and go, whatever, that's Steph. That's Steph being Steph. There's nothing new about that.
Yeah, I mean, hell, he's done it before. Mm-hmm. Obviously, like I said, I'm going to sound like the biggest hypocrite in the world because, I've given James Harden 8 million wet boys this year.
Yep.
And they've all been 36 points, but also triple doubles.
Yeah, triple doubles do count into it. Just ask Russ.
It's just, it's just one of those things that I just wasn't insanely wowed by Steph's performance. I didn't think he played bad. I just thought it was, helping with 5 goals in hockey, seemed pretty impressive. I don't watch hockey. Yeah.
I mean, 3 goals, 2 assists. It's freaking impressive. To have that many points in one game, you're doing something well. But, Soaps, first off, I want to thank you for the first ever tag team wet boy that we've had here. Kind of brings back the old days of Dave and I doing it every day. I kind of spring this on Soapy, just spur of the moment, hey, you're going to be on Wet Boys with me. And he's a champ. He's a trooper. So he says, sure, I'll do it if you need me to. Before we go and I go into my outro, forgot to make a graphic for it. We are going to do it, though. Roy Williams, he retired yesterday as a head coach of the UNC Tar Heels. Dude has had a complete legacy with the Tar Heels as assistant coach, as a head coach. We are inducting, it is official, should have made a card. I forgot to do it until we were just going to record, so I apologize to Roy. Roy will forgive us because he's a great guy. He gets nominated into the Hall of the Golden Wet Boy today. He joins the likes of David Stern, Kobe Bryant, Adam Silver, all past Golden Wet Boys. And I believe he is the first Golden Wet Boy, Soapy, of 2021, so we will always have that to his credit. Great coach. He's had great memories at UNC. It was one of those where in the tournament I was like, man, what's it going to be like once him, Coach K, Bill Self, all these guys start retiring? Well, guess what? We are going to find out what that world is like very, very soon. Want to thank you guys for checking out the video. Remember, if you want to get in on the official patron Wet Boy voting, patreon.com/MVP vids. Also, if you're not in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord today. Link down below, or exclamation. We're not on Twitch. Exclamation Twitch, though, or exclamation Discord into Twitch gets you that. I'm just used to saying it at this point. Thank you guys for being as great as you always are. Thank you for Soaps for tag teaming this one with me. We will be back tomorrow with more Wet Boys. And as always, have a good day, everybody.